Valheim are the funnest part because they recovering your body, especially if like there's a wolf or something camping your body, it can be a right pain in the neck.
Well, that's why I wanted to get a couple more beds in there.
Yeah,
Then if we're out in that area, you come back to that spot. That's the last
exactly.
place you touched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
precisely. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't enough space for beds.
Yeah, well, the building in Valheim's quite interesting because it does kind of vaguely follow physics in that you have to have supporting beams and things, and you can
Yeah.
tell by the color. So if it's like orange, if it's green, then it's good, it's supported. But if it's like orange, then it's not well supported. And I think red, I think it will just collapse.
Okay. So you do what you do in Fallout and start building from the top down.
No, no, exactly.
Yeah, okay. You made some interesting buildings that way in Fallout by starting from the top down.
Right. Yes, I've not done much build. That Fallout was it Fallout 4 they added base building, or did they have it in
Fallout
Fallout?
4.
Yeah, Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And then those of us that get into modding modded the heck out of that thing. And I wouldn't have played Fallout 4 that much if it wasn't for that. I was building whole cities pretty much.
Nice.
Because you can expand the area you can build in to include the entire cell, and then build throughout the entire cell, as long as the game engine didn't get too wonky, which is a problem with Bethesda games.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to try out the base building in Starfield because that has quite advanced base building and ship building as well. Actually, you can build your own starships.
Is that out now?
Yeah, yeah. I've been playing it on my handheld. It's
Huh.
runs quite nicely on my ROG Ally.
And I guess that's also open to modding, right?
Yes.
But then again, we mod games that aren't even open to modding, so.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma was a pain in the butt to mod. I remember that.
Hmm. There's quite a few people in here for a Sunday.
Yeah. Just started raining on me.
Yeah, I can hear it actually in the background.
Kentwell. It's supposed to get harder. I didn't think this microphone's that good.
Yeah, just very faintly I can hear some pattering in the background.
Uh, yeah, I don't do most of my recordings on this mic because it's about as old as you can get for a USB mic.
Yeah, yeah, you can tell it's got a kind of little bit of a hum to it. Now when I mean it's fine when you're not talking, right? Because it's probably got some good noise cancelling, right?
Yeah. But I can't use it for voiceover work.
No.
Believe it or not, I use my phone for most of that.
Yeah, phone mics aren't too bad, are they?
No, they're great. The mic I want's like $400 some, so I have to justify putting out for that.
What make is that?
Sure,
Yeah, I know. Sure. Yeah, good mic.
yeah, but I want the one that you can also use for singing and music production. So it costs a bit more.
They do some good clip-ons as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're a good company.
Mm.
As I get a little bit better at guitar, I'm going to start doing some concerts online, maybe.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm still less than a year playing. Let me know if the rain gets too loud.
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I picked this mic up at Radio Shack back when it still existed. I'm not sure how many years ago. At least a couple of 3 computers ago.
Yeah, it wasn't called Radio Shack in the UK, it was called Tandy's.
Yeah. Same company.
Yeah.
They go out of business over there too?
Yeah.
I used to love that place.
Yeah, same here. I used to go in as a kid and buy my transistors and stuff from there.
Yeah. Well, I grew up building radios and things back before we had computers.
Yeah, same here.
Actually, it might start getting loud soon.
Oh yeah, I can hear that. Oh my god, sounds like it's pouring on your head.
I'm in the attic.
Ah, right, yes.
My lab's up in the attic. Yeah, I have work labs in the attic in the basement. But my main computer, my research computers are all up here in the attic.
Research computers.
What's that?
Did you say research computers?
Yeah, research computers. The ones I do my research on. What, you think I'm just a retired cop?
What sort of research do you do?
No. It started out about 30 years ago studying geoelectromagnetic fields, and it's expanded now into stellar electromagnetic fields, specifically in the lower end of the M-class stars and brown dwarfs. I especially like studying propagation of stellar electromagnetic fields at that point between where you have a plasma core and a non-plasma core. It's really geeky stuff, but it's fun.
And are you sifting through the data that they get from radio telescopes then?
Yeah. Well, NASA will just give you gobs of stuff, especially if you've already written some stuff and they approve of you. They'll just throw it at you.
Nice. Because I guess they've probably got more data than, than they can sift
They can
through,
ever
right?
use, yes.
Yeah. So it's handy to have kind of hobbyists sort of going through the data, kind of analysing it, right?
Yep. Yeah, originally was studying current electromagnetic fields and finding methods of detecting different metals and minerals. Kind of like using the Earth as a big metal or mineral detector. Or the electromagnetic field of the Earth.
Yeah.
And developed some very interesting things from that. And then, went from there. It all started because my grandfather, when I was about 3 or 4 years old, showed me how to build a radio with a piece of quartz. He called them trench radios.
Yeah, I suppose that's similar to a crystal diode radio, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I graduated to them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I used to go out and collect quartz crystals or different other rocks and see what would actually give me radio stations. And I guess I've been a geek since I was a little kid. And then, of course, you begin asking the question, how does this work?
Mm. Yes, because it's pretty easy to create a radio with just a crystal diode and some. You know, it's not amplified,
Yeah.
right? But you can just about hear the signal, right? Even unamplified.
Oh, yeah. Well, we used to have these little earplugs that were like little plates of metal inside,
Hmm.
hard plastic, and they have little plates of metal inside that would vibrate, and that's what you'd use to hear. And I used to drive my parents nuts because I had all these different antennas. Ceiling of my bedroom became a huge antenna that I could put clip-ons on and change the length and shape of.
It's funny because I actually wanted to be an electronic engineer initially, but then I went to university and did a year of it and realised that I actually didn't like it that much.
Oh, no, I went to college for chemistry and physics, minored in mathematics and astrophysics. And started work on becoming a forensic pathologist. But then my wife got sick, so I became a cop because we needed money and insurance. And ended up staying there. Yay. Never have finished my doctorate. I want her to. She's a good bit younger than me. But she was a electronics technician in the Navy, and then she became a tech ed math teacher later. I gotta fix my roof. I have a leak here.
It's an unforgiven moment.
Well, no, I already have pans set up for it and all that. I need to get some Amishmen in here because I'm too old to climb up on my roof. It's a 12 and 16 pitch roof. Has a nice angle up on it, and that's where the leak is, between the angles of the roof there.
Oh, okay.
But it's over 30 years old, the roof, so I need to replace it completely. So I'll probably just get some Amishmen in here someday, and we'll just all do it in a day. Yeah, I told the firemen that were here the other day, why don't you jump up my roof a little bit? I can have insurance cover it then. Yeah. So where's everybody else at on the group chat?
I think Alid's away. Anna is having the day off. And I don't know where. Sometimes Far Walker's on, isn't he? And don't know where he is. And perhaps...
Oh, well.
Actually, I don't know where perhaps is either.
Ooh, somebody's catching up to my Polygon score here. Two of them are. Bar Walker and Adair. Huh.
I think that's very close. Is it? Which one are you? You 7:30, aren't you?
I'm fourth and fifth.
Fourth and fifth, yeah. 7:30 and 7:11. That's a decent gap.
Yeah, well, fourth is going to jump in a little bit because I have a bunch of foxes that are getting ready to complete their crafting bench.
Yeah.
And they'll be doing 8 or 9 turn-ins at once.
Yeah, that's going to be a big boost.
And I'll get a couple tomorrow, I think, if I show up. I don't see anything interfering yet with tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm used to getting that phone call every now and then. Oh, so-and-so sick, would you mind? Yeah, whatever. Jeez.
Man, I bet on the webcam I'm looking like I'm melting.
Why?
It's
That
well,
hot?
yeah, it's the last really hot day in London. I think it should cool down tomorrow, and I'll be glad of it, to be honest. Well, it won't, go down to 20, 24, 25, I think, which is much better than 32.
Yeah, we had a good one today, but it's just overcast all day. We've had a whole week up in, well, with us it's 90s. I'm not sure what that would be, 34, 35, something like that. Maybe a little more.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that conversion.
I'd have to look up the converter. Whatever 96 to 98 degrees in Fahrenheit is. It's warm.
What was it in
I
Fahrenheit?
always thought our scale sounded so much hotter. What was that?
What was it in
98?
Fahrenheit? 90. Oh gosh, yes.
98.
98. That's 36 Celsius.
Okay.
Wow.
98 just sounds hotter. Although working with with chemistry and chemicals, it's a lot easier using the Celsius system.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, in Valheim, when you die, what does that cost you other than you have to get back to your gear?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it does. It does sort of knock back some of your skills. I think because I think if you use stuff in Valheim, then it improves. It's not something I've really paid much attention to, but I think that's the general idea. Because yeah, if you jump a lot or if you run around a lot, then sometimes it says, oh, your jump's improved or your running has improved, and so I guess it knocks that progression back because there's not much else it can knock back really.
Ah, yeah, there's no levels.
No levels, not on the characters, just on the crafting and stuff. Crafting.
You know, I got killed a good number of times in the first day.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if you've maxed out things like your armor and stuff, you still need to dodge roll and be pretty good at combat or block with your shield. And I think it's only really the iron buckler that will mitigate most damage from most things, right? Iron buckler or better. I presume there's better than the iron buckler.
Uh-huh.
But we've got lots of other bosses to take down, which I think that'll be fun to try and figure out what's next. I actually don't know what the next boss is.
But you guys only got rid of what, one major boss so far?
No, about 3, I think. So there's the initial deer boss, which is you do that very quickly. In fact, we could take you through the bosses actually. That might be fun because you can still redo the bosses. So it might be good for you to see the bosses because they are quite cool. So there's a deer boss. Then there's, oh my god, what's the one after the deer? Oh, there's one that throws out vines. That's a cool one. That's a very cool one actually. It's like a tree boss, I guess, and it throws out vines and stuff at you. So we could do that one again as well because that's a fun one. And then there's the swamp one, which is Bone Mass, and he's like just a big blob. He's kind of cool. It's quite an interesting idea that you just call the bosses when you feel prepared for them.
My one son was heavily into it, I guess, like a year or so ago.
Yeah, there's definitely a few games that want to kind of take its crown. There's a new Lord of the Rings themed game coming out, Mines of Moria, I think it's called. It's all about the dwarves.
Yeah.
And apparently that's very, very Valheim-y.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few in the wings. I do like these sort of survival crafting games. I think there's a lot of them now, but I think a lot of them are quite interesting.
Thankfully, in this one, we don't have to eat things, so.
Funnily enough, Ben, our tokenomist, he was pushing hard for that. and I
Well,
just
fish aren't too hard to catch.
well, yeah, this is it, right? So if it was a bar that was you just had to eat fish or something, right? Then I don't think anyone would have much of a problem with it, seeing as it's fairly straightforward. So I'm not saying that that's not going to happen at some point, but I don't want it to be egregious.
Yeah. Yeah, what was it? Fallout New Vegas? You had to watch how much you ate and drank and what you ate and drank. And
Hmm. Well, what was that game? It was written by a New Zealander. It's blanking on the name, and he was all into heavy survival mechanics, and his game was very popular for a while. And I think maybe Fallout, the Fallout devs had played that a lot and decided they wanted a bit of that in Fallout. Perhaps not fully
nice.
understanding the audience, right? That's yeah, it's a little bit hardcore to have to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name of that game. Gosh, what was it?
Wasn't Don't Starve, was it?
No. I mean, look it up because I remember he went away and created a company called Rocket Works, I think it was. Yes. Dean Hall. DayZ. There you go, DayZ. Have you heard of that game, DayZ?
No.
Yeah, that was very popular for a while. It was very unforgiving.
See, I do have this large blank zone, especially when I went from doing my gang work and then switched over to the medical aspect. I literally have, well, actually the end of my gang work too was pretty bad. And then took over the medical unit at a prison. That was an interesting transition too. I was taming a zoo. That's what happened when I took that over. It was really bad.
That sounds pretty hardcore.
And before I left, it was one of the best units to be at. But you still had to deal with crazy people and things like that. But within a year of me leaving it, it's become a mess again. People are like, you need to go back. No, I don't. No, I don't.
That's quite a confused fox. A pink fox with a poncho and a Mohican and then a monocle.
I see that one.
That's a real interesting combination. That's kind of cool.
Don't forget the hoop earring, and then you got the other side has a little earring.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We got Aussie hats, but no cowboy hats. Hmm.
This is true. Make a note of that. We should start doing some more game items soon.
Well, I'm not a computer artist, so I can draw really well, paint really well, but I'm not a computer artist.
Well, I would just be fascinated to see what Simone comes up with if she's asked to do a crazy cowboy hat.
Probably be one of them really tall ones. They look silly. I wear a cowboy hat all the time at home here.
One of those 10-gallon hats. Is that what they call them?
No, it's a normal looking cowboy hat, not 10-gallon. It's bigger, but it's not a 10-gallon.
Hmm.
The 10 gallons weren't all that popular. They have a huge bowl on top.
Hmm.
Now, I lived not that far from the oldest hat factory in America, which is probably nothing compared to Britain, but I think it's around 200 years old. So they have a nice outlet center there that you can buy things at really cheap.
Nice.
And for years, when I did theater, unless I really had to, I hated wearing hats out of the costume shop because hats get nasty. And then I started buying hats for the theaters, and so I get nice discounts too. A lot of times I'd buy the hats for the cast and I'd donate them to the theater. So, yeah, I started wearing that, what was it, back in 2005, I think it was. We did this show called The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Yes.
Don't know if you ever heard of it or not.
Yeah, Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that one. It was actually a really fun show to do. I wore a cowboy hat for that, of course. And I'm like, wow, these are great. They block all the sun from all around you. You know, in the evening when you're driving, you get that glare coming through. You just tilt your head slightly and it's gone. Keep the rain off of you really well. I'm like, I love these things. And they look cool. So my wife and I both started wearing cowboy hats because she gets migraines and helps her. So we wear cowboy hats. Now I got me a guitar and I started to play out a little bit. It goes along with that too.
Nice.
Yeah, when I was younger, I wondered why people wore those things, and now I know why. Very comfortable, very practical for many things. Well, we're getting close to the end of a session.
That's true.
It wasn't that crowded here today.
Sundays are usually pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And sometimes Mondays are actually. It usually sort of picks up Tuesday. Oh, Pink Place. Nice. Usually picks up Tuesday.
Oh, cool. Let's see how I feel tomorrow if I get back in time. I didn't swim as much as I should have last week. I got to make up for it, so. Got to go hurt myself. Do the swimming, biking, and then lifting. think we'll just get enough cut. Won't be able to get back in time. Nope. I could be able to turn it in. Oh well. Guess I better take a picture here. Need it for the Zealy quest tomorrow. There we go. I remember to do it. Are you the one that grades those things, or?
No, some Anna or perhaps. I think probably perhaps mostly.
Oh, okay.
I don't actually know.
Oh well.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna get out of this oven. I've actually been gaming before this, so I am wilting now.